How to get out of stress when you are really stressed. So many of you want to know about that. So, stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety is one thing which we always get into, and we don't know how to get out of it. So, right now in this video, I'm going to talk about how to get out of stress and stress-related anxiety. So, let's start. Now, what is stress and what causes stress? There are a lot of things which will cause stress, like your job stress, business stress, financial management stress, your relationship stress, issues with spouse, issue with boss, uncertain things, traffic. A lot of things affects your stress, right? Now, how do we get out of that? Before, right? So how do we get out of that? So we need to understand what exactly stress is. Stress is just a mental condition. So when I say mental condition, so don't think that it is mental. It is just a conditioning which we all have been through, which eventually helped us escape from certain issues, some from certain situations. Now, let's understand how to get out of stress. So I don't think I have to explain more about stress and what stress is. All right. Now, say for example, uh, let me ask you this. So how many of you are, think of a situation wherein you are very stressed and you get a call from one of your client. So how do you talk to them? Will you talk to them with the same stress or with the same energy, or is there a sudden change which happens? Usually there is a sudden change, right? So what is that you understand from that? So one thing which you can understand from that is stress is a choice, right? Stress is a choice. So we all get into a certain situation and we accept that, and we give ourselves this excuse as stress. I'm not saying that you don't get into stress. You need to be superhuman and you never get into stress. Absolutely. We are all human. First and foremost, we need to accept that it's human to have stress. It's okay to have stress. However, you need to also understand being in that stress is a choice. As the example which I've gave, that when you get a call from someone, I'm taking the example of a client, an important client, is because that's when you actually make the shift and talk to that person with the way he wants, right? So that this example itself says that it is a choice. It is indeed a choice. Now, to understand that might be difficult. To understand that, it might be that would be difficult. Why? Because there are a lot of things which will come, that an external condition, how, why, your ego would come in part, and you know there is hesitancy to accept that this is my ego, this is my you know lack of awareness which comes in picture, and above all the comfort of being in that stress, right? So you are uncomfortably, or we all are uncomfortably comfortable in that stress, because we all get that, not external, we get that sympathy by ourselves. So, right. Now, first and foremost, what you need to do, so be aware that you are in stress and it is a choice. So if you're watching this, say to yourself that stress or being in this stress situation is a choice. It's absolutely a choice. And I understand that. Right. Now, next thing, it's okay. Next thing is, it's okay to be in stress. Now, there are a lot of ways. I'm covering this in a very short way. There are a lot of ways you can, get out of stress. How? Number one, before you get into stress, right in this moment, understand what gives you happiness. For some, it would be listening to music. For some, it would be nature walk. For some, it would be meditation. For some, would be talking to friends. For some, it would be watching some videos, funny videos, like I do. So these are all things which actually gives you some happiness. Relax your mind. Identify that. First step is awareness. Second step is identifying, and third step is taking that action, changing that energy. Stress, you understand that everything is energy. So when you are in stress and you are sad and you are depressed, then there is an energy which is there inside you. But changing that energy, changing that physical, doing a physical action, reading something, getting up from that place and going to some other place, running, laughing like anything, listening to that music, that itself changes everything. That shift the energy. When the energy is shift, it is easy for you to get out of that. That's what I do, and I can only tell what I do. As soon as I get into stress, some financial stress or whatever stress it is, I make sure that I watch something, I move out of that place, I go to some other place, I read something, I watch something, so that I occupy my mind, that little chatter which gives me stress, some other job, allocate some other job, so that it doesn't come back. Okay, so again, coming back, number one is awareness. You have a choice to get out of that. It is not an automatic process. You can fasten that process by being aware. Okay. Now I want you to think about a situation wherein you had a sudden shift of energy or you have achieved something. Definitely in your life there would be situations wherein you have had stressful situation and you might have come up like that. So think about that situation, and as you remember that situation and as you remember that moment wherein you got to know that yes, I have, make your fist and say yes. Make a fist and say yes, so that it comes as it registers as a memory. All right, so do that, change, make the shift in the energy, and make the shift in energy and remember that energy. So whenever you are in that, why are we doing this? So whenever you are in this energy, whenever you are in the space, doing a small movement like this will help you get into that next step of taking action and being aware. And then you automatically get out of that situation. Is it an easy process? Definitely not. It requires practice. For some, it comes automatically, but for some, definitely you need to have practice. So how many of you are ready to do some good practice of changing your energy when you are stressed? Right? Awesome. The next thing is the 5-second rule. Many of you might have heard, and I heard of it, and and as soon as I started applying that, my stress, a lot of things changed. It is like whenever you're stressed and as soon as you're aware, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take the action. As soon as you reach 5, take the action. That is the key. Changing, being aware and taking action, and knowing what changes your mood. And getting out of stress is as simple as that. However, it requires practice. I believe you have got some value out of this. Yes, I will be continuing with my videos on helping you on your mindset. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.